again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You the chop line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What people do eat no money, what they at you, eat no at you. Go be money, miss away, eat the yellow rat you. Use the youth, them on the waste, and must have man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but they got in a figure you. Take the spit of money, gal and say that it's not you. One day the man above end up, him a got up. Too much eat in the kitchen, some a fly by like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me,
300% free.
it burn me,
Garbage pile up the day.
it burn me,
Give the teacher them
it
raise.
burn me,
I see corruption
it
face.
burn me,
Mash down the people them house.
it burn me,
Every day appear arms out.
it burn me,
Appear money them a thief.
it burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You the chop line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say dig up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The 100 the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in a whatever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me,
Or they treat the market man.
it burn me,
Or them a treat the cat man.
it burn me,
Or they treat the peanut man.
it burn me,
Or them a treat the dirt man.
it burn me,
Or them a treat the son man.
it burn me,
Or them a treat policeman.
it burn me,
How them a treat soldier man.
it burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again.
Boom! I mean, I say a couple to the flex they represent for Wayne Global TV. There. So I say, you know the code in the Wayne Global TV is what fully blessed on 90 days. So I say, yeah man, to the fullest. Yeah man, make sure them log in to Wayne Global TV. So I say, check it out. So I say, one cup of flex. So I say, Wayne Global. When you watch you know, feel my plan up and I try to put them on it and we head. But man, I live too long, them want Wayne Global fitted. To him juggle so smooth that them want him life for dread. I throw the bank, I like the break, but we ain't all about the bread. When we open up in the ears and no listen when we said, cause we lyrics them so smooth like the linen on the bed. Them one with a fall, chill living on the edge, I must say true, we make this them. We ain't Global TV, we are 90, hey. And 90, who Jaja bless, say no man can curse. Give me the Range Rover, who no drive years. Boom! We in Global TV to the fullest one cup of excellence, see me?
Yes, good evening and welcome once again to Global TV. This is another episode of Calamity Junction. This evening, the program comes with a different twist. It is indeed our first major interview on this program. This evening, we will be interviewing the former head girl for Partner Draw TV, Shernette. We've all heard on the first week of August, the announced story that brought down Partner Draw TV, that carried out onslaught on various people from politician to the head girl to supporter, contributor of Partner Draw TV. But this evening, the head girl will speak and she will tell her truth. If you are a lie detector, you would find it awfully difficult to keep up with the lies of Andre Stevens. And if a lie detector would find it difficult to keep up, then I think a lot of us is lost in the cloud cuckoo land that Andre Stevens lives. They mash me up bad, 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 bad. Fool, shut up. We heard the first bad. The others won't make it any better, or you will not achieve any more attention for keep repeating bad, bad, bad. But to keep up with the lies and the slander and the twisted, belligerent mentality of Andre Stevens, it is beyond the pale. It is rather shocking for a top-performing, astute vlogger to be wallowing in mud like a pig to no ends. This is why one can fairly say Andre Stevens has taught us that one of the hardest jobs that one could ever attempt to do is cleaning up a pig, because you're only preparing the pig to go back and wallow. Before I adjust something, I want to make something clear about the recording between Delano Steve Wright and Andre Stevens. A lot of people is questioning why I'm trying to damage people's career and all of that. I'm going to speak to why there's no issue playing that recording in public. Here you have a politician, an advisor to a cabinet member, in a conversation with the most popular, one of the most popular social justice vlogger. The politician is telling, the vlogger is asking the politician for poor people to have more of the pie of community tourism. The politician is telling the social justice vlogger the whole community tourism thing needs a reset, and this is why we decide to, not exactly in verbatim, but to take away the community tourism from those people, because they are making money and not doing anything with it. Now, this is politician taking food and livelihood out of poor people's mouth. This is a matter of public interest. The conversation flew straight over the social justice vlogger head, deliberately or unconcerning, but it flew straight over his head. There was no question or pushback on that matter. We further heard in the recording, the politician made an offer to the social justice vlogger to work with them, the politicians, in secret, probably strategy-wise, or stepping back from holding the government to account. That is a matter of public interest. There is no problem putting such double standard of both the politician and the social vlogger out for the public to see, hear, and make their decision, especially when going to the poll and when being influenced. So I just want to make that clear. There is a public interest in playing that particular recording. And the decisions I'll take in playing any further recording, it will also be in the matter of public interest. So that is to clear up that. Provide me 60 seconds to go on a rant on Andre's security guard, Mr. McLean. In one of Andre's video the other, even when Andre was having his tirade about how much I'm going to pat in get out of him, how much a million or how much a thousand, Mr. McLean was there egging on Andre. Them here where you get 200 and at about 200 pound, them a 200 pound couldn't buy them here. I'm going to say to Mr. McLean, since you get deported from America or from foreign, things raise, COVID come, war fight, inflation and everything gone up. The price of things when you did in a prison at foreign, Mr. McLean, it is way different to now. So you can't, because Andre is using money to leash you like a little puppy. You want to come flaw people. Don't do it, Mr. McLean. Andre not leash none away for money. You are the only person Andre a leash as a big man. What could that be Andre father? Andre leash you and lap you all over the place. Don't do it. Don't try attack none away. A long time you left foreign. And that's it for Mr. McLean. Jamaica, after the death of Heather was announced by Andre on the 6th of August. We saw where that week, very week, Andre went into what I called an Anansi story. Now, for those of us who grew up in the 70s and early 80s and earlier, we knew Anansi's story was well before the days of television and smartphone. When you don't have no light and you use buckle torch or tilly lamp, so you sit down on the veranda and you talk about Anansi's story to kill the early part of the night. Since the days of color TV and smartphone, you really don't hear people sit down talking about Anansi's story. But in 2023, we see Andre embark on an 8-day mission, an 8-day process of Anansi's story, which quickly, by Wednesday, turned into a turmoil and tirade. And by Saturday, Partner Jaw was almost in collapse. To now, Partner Jaw has been dismantled. Given the tape we heard on last Sunday, Partner Jaw could be dismantled to give the government grace and favor to continue to fool all of us. On that Friday night, the 11th of August, we heard Andre went out on a stinging attack on quite a few people, from the Prime Minister and his wife to his very friend Rhoda, who he was meant to have a private lunch with a few weeks before the attack, to Captain J, our contributor and supporter of the show, a stinging and nasty attack, and his head girl, one of the most famous analysis on Partner Draw TV. Andre was asked to apologize and clear people's name, but as we all know, Andre has dumb pride, and at no point he will take responsibility or even sought to make clear his blunders, lies, and defamation. This evening, the former head girl of Partner Draw TV will tell her story to you all. Be of an open mind, and at the end, it will be for the public to make their own judgment. Good evening, Shernette, and welcome to Global TV.
Good evening, Wayne. Thank you. Good evening, audience. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I am doing good. I'm doing much better. To be honest. When this first happened, I took it really, really hard. Because the fact is that I was not even aware of the fact that it was happening until I got off the plane at Pearson and my phone blew up the Saturday night. And I was getting texts and calls, and people were telling me what was happening. So while that was happening, I was still in Jamaica, but because I was not listening to the show, I did not know what was happening.
But
Are you hearing me?
before we get into that,
Are you hearing me clearly?
we are hearing you clearly.
Okay.
Before we get into that, tell the audience, for those who may not have known you or were not watching Partner Draw TV, who Shernette is.
Okay, so I am a Jamaican, born, raised in the countryside. So I'm a country girl. Left Jamaica as a teenager, migrated with my mom sponsored me to Canada. So I've been here, finished high school here, all that stuff. Out of all my siblings, I'm the oldest. So I kind of grew up with my grandparent, and my grandfather was very knowledgeable in world affairs, politics, science. He was like beyond his time in terms of his knowledge and the vast knowledge. Being the oldest and being a girl, the oldest grandchild, and being a girl, and my mom and dad migrated, you take on the responsibility of taking care of your siblings. It doesn't matter how much older you are than they were. So I matured real quickly and had to be smart and had to grow up and had to do things. So I learned a lot of stuff. But when I migrated here, I decided that I love Jamaica and I did not want to get rid of my roots. I wanted to stay close to my roots. And to be honest, out of all my 6 siblings, I'm the only one that goes back to Jamaica and that keeps in touch with anyone in Jamaica, beside my mom. I'm the only one that goes there. If you bring any of my siblings to Jamaica, they would not know east from west, north from south. So I kept in touch because I wanted to move back to Jamaica and I was interested in the country and providing jobs and economical resources and knowledge on finance and stuff like that. I always kept myself abreast of what was going on in the country. Wanted to buy a piece of land, wanted to develop it, wanted to do a lot of stuff. And I did not like what was happening in the country. So that is basically how I kept in touch with Jamaica and why I kept in touch with Jamaica. And when my grandfather was alive, I went there as much as possible. Even when my grandfather migrated here, I continued to go back. Even now that they've all passed away, I still go to their grave. Like almost every year and a half, I will go to the grave. I will sit there. I will speak to them. So that's basically the connection. And I have this thing that just draws me to Jamaica, this love thing I have with Jamaica. However, I don't like the way in which the country is going. And I've always said I'm neither PNP or GLP for the people, Jamaicans, because I want to be able to come back, not having my door kicked off, being able to live, being able to do business just like the Chinese does without any reprisal and without living in fear. So that's basically why I keep in touch with Jamaica. I do local charities out of my own pocket, a lot of stuff I do in Jamaica. But I've always shied away from social media and from the camera. So I've always been behind scene until I bumped into Andre's show by another blogger that mentioned Andre.
I want to answer this question. How did you come across Partner Draw TV and when did you start watching Partner Draw?
So I came across Partner Draw TV one night when I was watching another blogger. She was on and she was talking about a young lady named Donna Lee. And it was very interesting. And she said Andre came out the night before and spoke about it. I had no clue who Andre was. So the link that she had, I followed the link. It didn't take me much, because I started Googling the name and reading the comment section, found Andre's channel. And shortly after, maybe about 2 or 3 days after Donna Lee's situation, I started watching. So that's how I found out about it. I never commented because I don't, or called in the beginning. But as time went by and the issues he was covering and the way in which he was covering them, it was great to me. That was like that was like down my field. That was perfect. So I kept listening. I get more concerned. I start tuning in. And then I called in the first time, nervously spoken to him. That's the first time I've ever called into a program, period. By the second time I called in, I guess Andre was impressed or something, but I later found out that he stored my information, because weeks later when I called in, he addressed me by my name, which I never told him my name or gave him my number. But somehow, I guess when I called on WhatsApp, my information must have stored, because while I was there, I heard him saying Shernette was calling. Now, there are many people called Shernette, so I did not know it was me because I was watching the program, not knowing it was me. Later on, he rang me back and I realized it was me. And I would call in at that time from time to time, and just calling from time to time. The listening audience, I guess, loved my point of view for the most part. And basically, that's how I knew about the program, because I did not know anything about Andre.
You became the head girl for Partner Draw TV. But before explaining to us how you became the head girl for Partner Draw TV, explain leading up into that what cemented your attraction to the program, that you have that gravitas to the program to the point where you became head girl for Partner Draw TV.
What actually cemented it was the dedication. Here you are in England, you're not being paid. Everyone knows that you were not being paid. You were volunteering your time. Here is Andre, at that time was not being paid. It's the something that was in Andre that was bold. He was bold, as if he was, and knowing how dangerous Jamaica was. It's that boldness that I like, because I don't like people that just talk. I like action. I always said I would be a nanny any minute. So I liked that about him, that unwavering spirit. Places that other people would shy away from, he went there. That attracted me. That the dedication of the people that were on his program, the information at that time that he was claiming that he was getting. I was wondering, how was he able to get these information? Who was he getting these information from? Then finding out, I didn't care anything about his background, whatever his orientation is, has nothing to do with me. He seemed at that time to sell us a story that he wanted a better Jamaica.
Right.
For
Which
Jamaicans.
Is what a lot of us gravitated to.
Yeah, Jamaica for Jamaicans. That's basically Jamaica for Jamaicans, and that's what I was about. I don't care. I've never voted in my life in Jamaica, because I left Jamaica before I was able to vote. So it's Jamaica for Jamaicans. And that's what he seemed to stand for, and wanted change, an immediate change. So that's when I basically said, and that held me. The fact he was on time every night, the fact that he was speaking a language that the people wanted to hear, because we were almost to the point where we're hopeless. So he again was playing, I call it, he was playing, as he said, playing a little David. So he was playing a little David. So I thought Andre was, as he said, little David, he would play the song Little David, but it looked as if Little David was playing us. So at that time, I thought he was actually playing Little David. I had no clue Little David was actually playing us. So that's why I gravitated to it, because it was a form of hope for us that were desperate. And I think us in the diaspora, we gravitated to it more because people don't understand. It doesn't matter how much citizenship they give us living overseas. And even if you came here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, there's always this natural inclination to go home. There's nowhere like home to me. So for us in the diaspora, we always want to go home. So with him, we supported him a lot because we were buying what he was selling because what he was selling is what we wanted.
And how did you become the head girl?
Well, in the comment section, they started calling me the head girl. Because of what I brought to the table. It took months for Andre to officially start calling me the head girl. None of that stuff really mattered to me because, as I stated before, I was about legacy for the next generation, not immediacy. Because we as Blacks, we tend to think about immediacy, the now, but I was about legacy for my children and their grandchildren if they wanted to migrate to get a piece of the land of wood and water. So basically, they start calling me that in the comment section. Then months later, Andre start referring to me as the head girl. And I just wanted a better Jamaica for Jamaicans. And I would basically almost stop at nothing to see that happen. So that's how I was, they started calling me the head girl. So it was the students, as we would call ourselves, that started calling me the head girl. And then later on, Andre started calling me the head girl.
Right. Outside of the program, one would thought that Shernette and Andre has a very good relationship. Outside of the program, do you have a communication with Andre prior to the 11th of August?
Prior to the 11th of August, yes, prior to the 11th of August, we had communication. However, when I started the program, when Donna Lee, that would have been August of this year, you're referring to, Wayne, just for clarification?
Yes, August of this year.
Yeah, so when Donnelly disappeared, I think it was August of last year. So when I started watching the program, there was no communication between Andre and I when I was calling in. And I would read the comment section and people were saying, oh, Andre's telling her what to say. No, there was basically no communication. We would not communicate outside the show. During the show, sometimes Andre would send me messages. So while he was live, he would send me messages. Sometimes he would send me messages calling Shernette. But outside the show, the day-to-day operation of the show, in the beginning, no, there was zero communication. There was nothing happening. I would sometimes be home, tired, just getting home from work, because 8 o'clock Jamaican time is it would be so 8 o'clock Jamaican time would be 9 o'clock here if we're on daylight savings time. But when we are on Eastern Standard Time, 8 is 8. I'm just leaving work at 8. So most time I would listen to the show, watch the show in my vehicle driving home until I get home. So being busy at work, doing 10 hours, running my own business, I had no time for communication with Andre during daytime. Most times I would listen to the topic coming home. I would scratch little notes that if I get a chance to call in, these are some of the issues I want to address. So no, there was no communication between Andre and I. After which he would send me, as I said, occasional WhatsApp message. But if the topic was something I was not well versed on, I would just say to him, Andre, no, not tonight. I would not call in because I don't like to speak on things I have no knowledge of.
And at any point, did the communication change? Did it get closer? Like did both of you have telephone conversation on a regular basis, or not at all? Or are you a part of any WhatsApp group that Andre has created?
I was not. We were still not having regular conversations. Not a telephone kind of a person, other than when I call in. However, we did communicate. So in October, Thanksgiving. This is the Canadian Thanksgiving I'm referring to. Our Thanksgiving is in October. The weekend of Thanksgiving, again, Andre never asked me, but Andre was talking about the Canadian farm workers and the
Mhm.
conditions they were living in. So I took it upon myself to fill my car with groceries and a bunch of stuff, my trunk and whatever. And I took off by myself, driving to some of the farms that they were mentioning, and I researched them because I'm a facts based person. I'm the type
Mhm.
of person, if you give me information, I need to prove that that actually is factual. So I took off, went driving. I drove about 4 hours. At first, I thought it was about 3 hours, 4 hours one way. Got to the farm. When I got to the farm, I found some farmers. The Monday would have been a statutory holiday here in Canada. So based on the law, the farmers would not be should not be working. And if they were working, they would have to be paid overtime. I got to the point where my GPS was not even working anymore. And I started asking direction, lonely back road in the middle of nowhere, and me just driving by myself. They directed me until I found one of the farm. While driving along the side of the street, I saw all these black men just working, and it was raining. It was extremely cold because it was about 10 degrees difference between where I lived and where I ended up. I beckoned to them, pulled over, and a few of them nervously came over and started talking to me. I asked permission to record them. They were very, very nervous. But I told them, no, 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 I'm not recording your face. I'll just record your body and what you were saying. The farm owners were there. So I guess a lot of them started saying, no, 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 we don't want any trouble, because if things were to occur, they would send us home and nobody would, like, we would not come back. I said to them, no, 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 I would not. I started asking them, do you know about Andre Stevens? They said no. They asked me, are you the one that's here to help us? Are you one of the new liaison officer? I said, no, I'm just a concerned citizen. And we spoke. And at that farm, I was not able to drop anything off because they were physically on the job. Another gentleman walked over and said, no, continue talking. I'll just go back and tell them that you're one of the liaison officer. So I interviewed them, and they directed me to where other farms were. Those
Mhm.
footage of the interview I later sent to Andre. So Andre had footage of those interviews that I sent to him. Footage, and I think I went to about 5 or 6 separate farms that day. I actually was in one of the farms. The place was so massive. I was like, what if somebody starts shooting? Because I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Did
Just in
Andre
the,
ever disclose that in public?
I'm sorry?
Did Andre ever disclose that in public?
No, because I even had the name of a lawyer was working with Andre for about 10 years. Sorry, working with the farmers for about 10 years. And she was willing to come on and do an interview. When I told Andre about it and sent the information to Andre, it's no, he never proceeded to do anything about it. It just kind of died down, and I didn't follow. I followed up on it about twice, but I just basically just left it because it did not
Why
seem
you
to be
think
something he was
why do you
interested
think
in.
he might not want to run such a story?
The hype, he did not have the hype, because he went back and talked about the farmers twice after that, but he did not have the hype. He did not have the hype to grab the audience. He wanted stories that were much more catching, stories that would drag people's hearts, stories that he basically could grab numbers. So I don't
Mhm.
think he thought this one was going to give him the numbers he wanted. So he just buried it.
There were some times when you would be absent from the show and we would hear Andre asking Shernette to call, or Andre would be saying to the audience that Shernette is busy or creating some narrative. What really happened within those times?
Well, one of the first incident I could remember, it was in the Black History, so Black History Month. I was part of the Black History Month celebration at my church, and I was supposed to do a presentation, which was pre-planned months in advance. Um, Andre asked me to come on his show and to do a live with him. However, that Friday night, Andre said he was not feeling well, so the show was canceled. He then rescheduled it for the Sunday night. However, I had prior engagement at the church that I was supposed to speak. So I told him, Andre, I will try my best to finish the speaking engagement early, and then I would take part in I think Karen was her name, was going to be on, and few other people, and I would come on the show. So he started sending me messages while I was at the church. Leave the church, leave the engagement. You need to show up at the show up now. And I'm like, Andre, no, I cannot leave. He's like, I'm demanding you to leave now. Listen to me, leave now. I need you here. And I'm like, Andre, I can't just walk out. This is a speaking engagement I had for months, and I cannot until it's finished. So by the time the night was over and I got home, the insults, the cussing that I got in my inbox, I called Andre and set him straight and said, and I never called in for about maybe 2 weeks. I stopped calling in. So when Andre was saying to people, oh, Shernette, I don't know where she is. No, he knew what had
Prior to
happened.
that incident, has he ever spoken to you in a disrespectful manner?
Oh yes. So a few months later, Andre created like a top student group. So the top student group that Andre created, it was a group that basically we were to communicate in. And Andre, oh yeah, when I would not follow his narrative, oh yeah. But before that, one night I was on my way coming home from work. Basically I just got home from work. When I got home from work, Andre had sent me messages. And in the messages, Andre said to me, because he was doing I guess I don't know what went wrong with Andre and Shelly Caron. So Andre started sending me messages. And in the messages, Andre said in the messages, Shernette, I want you to come out and cuss out Shelly Caron. So that's one of the night he sent me a message, said I should come out and cuss out Shelly Caron. So I sent him back a note and said, no, I don't know Shelly. I know nothing about Shelly. Shelly has done nothing to me, and I refuse to come out and cuss Shelly out. I will not do that. So he basically tried to control that narrative by saying I should come out and cuss Shelly. So I declined.
Have you ever asked you to do the same thing to Queen Ifrica?
Oh yes. So one night, he was doing the show with Queen Ifrica. He was on. I did not like the way the interview was going. I sent him. Because listen to this. Andre said Andre suffers from mental illness. Queen Ifrica suffers from mental illness, according to Andre. If Queen Ifrica suffers from mental illness and you suffer from the same mental illness, I expect you to show empathy to her. I know nothing about Queen Ifrica. I don't even know one of her songs, to be honest. So he was there the night, the way in which he started speaking with her and the interview turned. I sent him the message and said, Andre, end the interview or check yourself because it does not sound professional. I said, remember, you're on an international stage. So he said to me, Shernette, I come in while you come out and done the gal. But yet you're telling me to take it easy on her. So I said, no, Andre, I would not come out and cuss the woman out. I declined and told him I could not do that. First thing first, she's a female. She has done nothing to best of my knowledge. And secondly, without cause, I will not. You cannot manipulate me to come out and just start cussing out people. So I declined. So later on, as soon as Andre hung up that phone, Andre told me some clot. Listen, I never knew Andre could swear. Andre called me back and Andre told me some words. When he started telling me the clots on the phone, the clots was like from here to Timbuktu. I remember I said to him, Andre, no, you need to stop and you need to stop now. Those are languages I do not use. Those are languages that's not in my vocabulary. You're going to respect me and learn how to talk to me because I'm not one of your nincompoops. Don't you ever do that again. Ever, as long as there's breath in your body. And I hang up my phone. If you guys remember, it took about 3 weeks for me to call back in because Andre would even call me. Andre was on the phone calling me at night. And like when people were saying, where's Shernette in the comment section? Where's Shernette? I refused to call in. I remember still watching the show and hear him telling Isat a Friday night and Ratican that he did something to me, and they kept asking, what did he do to Shernette? And he goes, I can't tell you, but Shernette is pissed with me. I was so shocked with the languages that were coming out of his mouth. So when I heard that tape with his mother, that he addressed his mom, it was surprising that it was his mother, but that attitude he had brought to me before, and I checked him. I said, I will check you. Don't you ever. You don't pay me. I'm not a puppet. You cannot manipulate me. You cannot pull my ropes. Don't you dare. I said the way in which you were dealing with her, that I did not like it. And that's what I said. And that's what I meant. The next time he wanted me to, as I said before, he wanted me to come out and done Shelley. I said, no, I didn't. The next time was the incident with Daryl Vaz. As people always thought that Andre could program me. How many times, if people that listen to the show know that I would call in and opposed to Andre's view. Andre has taken me on several times publicly on the show, and I've done the same where I said, Andre, don't agree with your stance. One such night was the night when Daryl Voss called in. The way he conducted the interview, I don't think that was a proper interview. So I called in and started talking about the way in which Daryl Voss was, his mannerism, his body language. He was not even answering the question. And I made a statement that I thought Daryl Voss was there to launch his campaign. And that interview, Andre was much, much harder on other guests. Why was he so lax with Daryl Voss? Why was he so easy? So again, that night he had cut me off and told me off because in the comment section, people were begging for me that night, like, oh my God, call back Shernette and apologize. But I did not need an apology because I was going to
that night clearly.
Okay, I was going to stand by what I said. So I am not one of Andre Mennonites that can be manipulated. No, I have an opinion of my own. I'm a leader, not a follower. I'm going to stand by what I believe in. So when Daryl Voss came on and I spoke to him, he did not like it. He hurriedly cut me off. After the show that night, what people don't understand, Andre called and he said, how dare you assert your authority? How dare you? You do not know the intricacies of what's going on. You do not know what it is. There's bigger fishes being fried. There's bigger things at stake. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what there's things I cannot explain, but I'm going to need him down the road. Those are some of the stuff he was telling me, which to me at that time did not make much sense. But now, seeing that Andre's become a double agent, seeing what Andre's capable of, I understood that Andre.
It's all becoming clearer.
It has become clear, not even clear, it has become clear because that night there was something off. There was something very wrong. And I said, no. And I addressed it. He later called. He told me off. He said to me, I don't understand where he's coming from. There's things he cannot explain. There's things in the back working. He's working on things and he has to be easy with him because he's going to need him in the future. He's also going to need the wife. I said, I don't care. If they come on and you are going to handle them with kids' glove, I will just stop watching the show. Simple, period, blank. So basically,
I want to move a bit forward.
Yes.
You went to Jamaica in around early mid-July?
Yes, I went to Jamaica on the 17th of July, yes.
Prior to going to arriving in Jamaica, did you have arrangement with Andre Stevens about you coming to Jamaica and where you'll be staying, or did both of you have plans to meet up, move around? How was the plan for that period?
Yes, so I went to Jamaica. So just before I forget, I want to big up all the people at the Portmore Seventh-day Adventist Church. I will also want to big up the taxi driver. I think he said his name was Country. And later on, you guys will find out who Country is, and the SDA and how integral they were in the situation. So I notified Andre about maybe 3 months prior that I was going to be heading to Jamaica. We talked a little. Again, we did not talk a lot on the phone, other than the group that he set up, which was called Top Student Group, which in that group he tried to basically tell us what to say every night. And I said, no, like Shernette, you're going to tackle this point. It was a 6 of us in the group. You're going to tackle that point. You're going to tackle that point. I would say, no, Andre, you can't program me. You cannot tell me to speak on a topic I have no knowledge of. This is a group that you have set up. At that time, I thought that was the only group called top student groups that were set up. I later found out after I got back from Jamaica that there were many groups that were set up, and he would basically trying to feed you what to call in and say on the topics. And I'm like, no, that doesn't work for me. So again, I've defied him over and over and over again. So going to Jamaica, I called him, I messaged him, I never called. And I said, I'm going to Jamaica. And I asked him because I said to him, you said you wanted to build out your studio. Is there anything you want I can pick up on Amazon? That was the conversation. He never responded. I messaged him again. He said he will let me know. At that time, he said to me, Mr. Marsh, which we call Mr. 69. That was about maybe a month before I got down. I reminded him, Andre, I'm coming down. Have you figured out what it is that you want now? He said to me, Mr. Marsh, Mr. 69 was in need of a phone. That was actually put on the group, on the top students group. And he wanted us to contribute to buying Mr. Marsh a phone. So I sent him a private message, not on the group WhatsApp, because I did not want anyone else to know I was coming to Jamaica, saying, Andre, remember I'm coming to Jamaica. I could bring a phone for Mr. Marsh. He said, okay, great, bring the phone. So I made arrangement, told him I'm coming to Jamaica. I was coming down on a Friday. We made arrangement for me to be in the studio. That would be the Friday night, same night Ratty and ISET would be on. Was there the Friday night. I got in about 1 that Friday, the 17th. I got in about 1 p.m. When I got in, Andre asked, I said to Andre, I've landed. That's after I got the duty tour driver that picked me up, and he hotspot me. I said, Andre, I've landed and I'm making my way to my apartment unit. Prior to coming to Jamaica, I gave Andre the name of where I'm staying, the address and everything. So he knew where I was staying, when I'm coming in, what time my flight was coming in. Andre
So
said
what
to
was
me,
the plan on Friday when you landed in Jamaica?
he said to me, send me the information. Again, I sent it to him. Then he said to me on Friday, I will come into the studio with him at his place. And I said to him, listen, you can even do it at my place because I got a 2-bedroom. So if you're more comfortable at my apartment, you can do it there because I don't know the setup at his apartment. He said, we will discuss that. So the Friday I got in, he said to me, okay, I was going to come over. So I left the airport, dropped off at my apartment, was in my apartment, never heard from Andre. Kept calling Andre, messaging Andre, and time was winding up. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, okay, I haven't ate. I'm hungry. I need food. There's no grocery in the house. There's nothing in the house because Andre and I were supposed to meet before the show. You see, when I messaged him, he told me he's downtown. He's about 5 minutes away from me. He's going to be there in a second at the apartment unit. He and his driver, Andre, never showed up. So I'm sitting there in the apartment. It's about half an hour before the show. I messaged Andre and I said, Andre, what's going on? He said to me, oh, Shernette, oh, change of plan. I changed my mind. I said, huh? He said, I changed my mind. He said, based on the issues I'm dealing with right now, it's best for you not to show your face on camera and for no one to know that you're in Jamaica. I said, okay, fine, not a problem. That's good. Like I have no problem with it. He said, I'm going into some deep places and some deep space. It's best if you just basically stay away at this point. And he said, don't worry, man. Me and you will meet up tomorrow, referring to the next day being Saturday. He said, we'll
So
go
what,
out, we'll have...
what happened on Saturday?
Oh, before that on Friday night. So on Friday night, I was at the apartment. I'm there watching Andre's show. The light in the bedroom that I was in, the light was on. I'm there watching the show. It was about 12:15, 12:10. I heard a loud boom, boom, boom on my window, right next to my bed head. I immediately jumped up and looked up, and the knocking stopped. Then something said to me, do not look out. Do not go to the windows. So I lay still. I did not move. I thought the person was gone. About 10 minutes later, I heard another boom, 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 boom on my window. I said, no, 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 no. This is not good. So I slid off because the person was beating and shaking the windows if they wanted to come in. I slid off the bed, the
Mm-hmm.
side of the bed, slid onto the floor. When I slid onto the floor, I curled up on the floor because in my mind, I said, if they're shooting and something is about to happen, it's easy for them to shoot me on the bed. If I'm on the floor, it's going to be almost impossible for them to hit me. So I slid onto the floor. I turned off my phone. Later
Other
on, I,
than, just let me get this question again.
yes.
Other than Andre Stevens, who else knew you were staying in that property?
No one except the driver, which is a driver I've used about 5 times while I was about 3 times, sorry, while I was in Kingston, with the exception of the driver that I've used before that dropped me there, that doesn't know that I'm the head girl, doesn't know anything about me, just know me as Cher. No one else knows that I was staying in that apartment. No one else. Mind you, at this time, Andre knew I was coming in. Andre's plan was for him to come, for us to go
Mm-hmm.
get food, for me to go get grocery, for me to get things, for me to go back to his place, for me to have the show from his place, for me to be live in studio with him. I was not even supposed to be in that apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Half an hour before the show, when I saw him doing nothing and I'm bathed, I'm dressed, I'm ready, I called him and he said to me he changed his mind. While watching the show, I'm laying there not thinking anything about anything. That's when the banging started. And it went on a third time as if the person is saying, I know you are there. I know you are there. So by this time, I'm on the ground. I slept on the ground the Friday night on the cold concrete with a little sheet. That's where I slept that Friday night. Like literally, that's where I slept the Friday night. So the Saturday morning, I got up. Andre, because when Andre spoke to me the Friday night, he said, don't worry. I'll come and get you Saturday morning and we'll go around. Remember, there's nothing in my house except a bottle of water. So I had not eaten since Thursday night because Friday morning I came down on the plane, nothing. I came to the apartment, nothing. I bought six sweet sops and a piece of melon. That's all I had. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
Saturday morning. I'm beyond hungry. It was about 11:30. I contacted Andre and I said, Andre, you said, where are you? He said to me, Shernette, I don't feel well. All this while, Andre has been sending me the number of a driver. Someone is claiming, some guy is claiming that's his driver that will be
Mm-hmm.
taking me around. So I said, no, Andre, if you're going to use a driver to take me around, why not Miss Claudia, Miss Claudette? Why are you because okay, even Friday night he said to me, Shernette, oh, you don't have any food, call the driver. I said, no. Who is this driver? So he actually sent me a screenshot with the driver's name and the phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Next to the phone number, it has the driver's name and it says burner. So it's a burner
Mm-hmm.
phone. That alerted me immediately that no, 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 this is a burner phone. I'm going nowhere with this guy. So when I said to him, I'm hungry the Friday night, he said, did you call the driver? Let the driver bring you some food. I said, no, 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 I'm good. So I stayed without food. The Saturday morning, when I contacted him about 11:30, he said to me, you didn't call the driver last night. I said to him, no. Did you call him this morning? I said, no. He said, call the driver. Let the driver give you some food because me really tired. I want to sleep
Did
in.
he turn up at all on Saturday?
No. I said no, and I called my the same driver that actually brought me from the airport, the duty tour driver. We went to Carnation Market, got my money changed, got everything together, never even heard from Andre the Saturday the entire day. However, the driver started calling me. The so-called driver started
Mm-hmm.
calling me, becoming overly friendly on the phone. The so-called driver, which he calls his security detail and his driver, started asking me for my if I have social media profile. I said yes. He said to me, "Can you send me your social media profile link?" The
Mm-hmm.
minute he said that, something triggered. I said, "My link." He said, "Yes, send me your social media handles." I said to myself, oh, no, 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 no. So I sent him my business social media handle, and I still have
Mm-hmm.
all the text between he and I. He said to me, thanks much. He said, what I wanted to see was an image of you. I said, interesting. An image of me. Really? Then he sent me back a message and said, can I get a picture of you. Immediately I said, remember, this is now Saturday. I'm by
Yeah.
myself. There's no one else because every plan I made with Andre had changed. I said to myself, hold on, picture of me. He said, yes. I said, why would you want a picture of me? But he was becoming overly friendly, almost as if he wanted to have a intimate conversation with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he was positioning everything. However, that's not what my mind was telling me. My mind was telling me that was his way to get in. So immediately I was reading him and I said, no, 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 no. So what I did, I took a picture of a mail that was on my phone and I sent it to him. If you
Mm-hmm.
guys remember, the night when Andre attacked me, Andre said, a friend of his asked a picture of me. And Andre, thought I was a man, a girl, a woman, but I'm a transvestite because I sent a picture of a man. That was the
So that
incident he
would
was
be where the argument of Shernette being a transvestite coming from, because you sent a male picture to his security detail.
just a random male picture to Andre's security detail. When I sent the picture to him, he sent back a funny face emoji to me. I said to myself, got you. You think I was born yesterday? Got you. I was not born when my mother was in market. She was present when I was being born. Got you. Because something was not adding up. I would speak to Andre. Andre would tell me to speak to the driver. I would speak to the driver. The driver would say, did you speak to Andre? The driver's the driver and the Andre's statement never correspond. Nothing the drivers say you could compare with Andre said. Andre saying Andre's over the east, he's over the west. So I
So
said to
you could
myself,
spot some form of manipulation or something off going on.
something was going on, but Andre was trying not to be seen with me. Andre wanted me to be picked up. Andre wanted me to go. Andre wanted me to be in the presence of someone, wanted someone to take me away from the apartment unit, but for him not to be tied to it because we were in a gated, I was in a gated community. There were cameras. So he was doing everything possible to frustrate me to the point where I would have to give up and go with the driver because I don't know Kingston. Like I just don't
By
know Kingston.
Saturday night, did Andre manage to come and see you by Saturday night?
No, on Saturday night, Andre did not see me. And Saturday night, I was there by myself. And Saturday night, I was just going through my phone. Again, Andre's not on Saturday nights watching some stuff. I was at that time sitting again in the room. The same thing happened. At this time, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. Somebody came to the window trying to almost break in through the window on Saturday night. I went and locked myself in the bathroom, and that's where I stayed Saturday night in the bathroom. At that time, I still did not meet his security detail. I still did not see Andre. Andre, because remember, Andre said he's going to take me out. We're going to eat. We're going to dine. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to spend the day together this Saturday. Never saw Andre. However, on Saturday evening, before I went to bed, Andre called me about maybe 9 p.m. I don't remember if it's a call or a message, but we communicated. And he said to me, Sunday, tomorrow is Daniel Rose's funeral and the little girl. Do
Yeah.
you want to go to the funeral with me? I said, yeah. He said to me, okay, um, I'll be there to pick you up. He said to me, get ready for 9 o'clock because the funeral starts at 10. So I was there Saturday night before I went to bed, get my clothes out, get everything out. He said, it's put everything aside, not thinking anything, thinking it may have still been an isolated incident the Friday night. So
Mhm.
while I was there the Saturday night, the same thing occurred. This time, the person insists as if they wanted to come into the room. I did not know what to do. I did not know who to call. I did not know anyone. The only person that I knew was Andre. And I had a friend, maybe two friends I think I had that was in the military. I even messaged them, but I didn't tell them what was going on. I messaged them to see where they were. They weren't responding because they were on duty. So I was literally there by myself. I'm telling you, when I say
Did
shaking,
you did you alert Andre as to what happened Friday night and Saturday night?
no, I did not alert Andre about it until Sunday.
Hmm.
I did not alert Andre about it until Sunday. I did not say anything on Friday night. I did not say anything on Saturday night. I did not call him on Saturday night because he claimed to be very busy and there was no communication. And as I stated before, with him and the Ryan guy, that was supposedly his driver, something was not adding up because the gentleman, and what was not adding up as well is that I did not get this from Andre, but I got this from the driver. The driver, imagine this, lives in another parish, which would take about 2 hours to get into Kingston. The driver has his own vehicle. Yet, Andre, the driver told me Andre rented a car and give to him to carry me around. So I said,
while the driver has his own vehicle.
Why would Andre rent a car, give the rental car to you to drive me around if you have a car? At the same time, Andre is saying to me, this guy's going to...
Did you make any prior arrangement with Andre to rent a car to move you around for the period you were going to be in Jamaica?
Oh, God, no. Because the Monday morning, my girlfriend was coming into Kingston. She knows Kingston. No. And if remember, I told you I've been to Kingston, and because I don't know Kingston, I've been to Kingston previously and 3 times before the exact same duty tour driver, which is very reputable, which you go online, you see the reviews on him. That's how I found him years ago. He would drive me around if I needed drive. So no, we never spoke. In fact, when Andre said to me, the very same driver could have picked me up from the airport, I said to him, no, 2 weeks before coming down, I made plans with my duty tour driver to pick me up from the airport. He said, something you can cancel? I said, no, I don't do that to people. No, I will not cancel it. So I did not cancel it.
So get back to Saturday night into Sunday morning of the plan of going to Daniel Rose's funeral.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Wayne, I did not hear you.
No, I said get back into the planning of Saturday night going and to go into Daniel's Rose funeral Sunday.
Okay. So Saturday night, I basically stayed up most of the night. Sunday morning, I was up early because I did not get much sleep. About 6 a.m., I got a call from Andre. And Andre said to me, by the way, I forgot to tell you, it's blue you guys are wearing. Are you ready? I said, yes, I'm up. By that time, I gotten up, tried to take a shower, still nervous, just wanting to get out of the place because I was still alone and my girlfriend was coming from Montego Bay on the Monday. So I'm there by myself. So I said, yes, I'm ready. He said, we are going to pick you up at 9 o'clock. I said, no problem. He said, funeral starts at 10. I said, no problem. I'm ready when you are. He later called me back and said, Shernette, the driver is supposed to come and pick us up to take us to the funeral. I said, interesting, because the driver just called me and the driver said to me, so what are you guys doing today? I said, what do you mean? He said, what's the plan for today? I said, I don't know. You call Andre and ask Andre, because by this time I knew something was not right. So none of them were playing me. So I said, don't know. He said to me, I'm not having any communication with Andre. I said, that's interesting. So, because I'm saying to myself, Andre just told me like 5 minutes ago that you'll be picking us up for the funeral. That's what I said to myself. But I didn't tell him anything about the funeral because I'm like, listen, just in case this guy is not really affiliated with Andre, I don't want to tell him where I'm going so this guy will come and find me where I'm at. So let me just leave it as is. So I said, I don't know, you'd have to call Andre. He said to me, well, Andre is not saying anything. That's why I'm asking you. I said, but I don't know you. You're saying you work with Andre, you're Andre's security. How could you be Andre's security and it's taking you 2.5 hours, an hour and a half to 2 hours to get into Kingston? How is it that you, Andre, rented a car and gave you the rental car? You have that rental car that Andre's paying for every day, yet Andre doesn't have access to that car. You're in a different parish with that car. Does that make any sense to you, Wayne?
It wouldn't make any sense.
That Andre would be paying for a car?
How did you and Andre got to the funeral?
Andre kept calling around and said he could not find anything. Then he said he found an elder that was going to take us to the funeral. Then he showed up about 10:30, claiming that he was late because he had a difficult time finding a ride. He said it was an elder. When the person came with Andre to pick me up, it was a young guy. I looked at him, I said, this is not an elder. I walked up to the car, I greeted Andre like, hi, oh my God, I was so happy to him. Oh my God, I finally saw you. Andre said to me, get in the car. That was his tone, get in the car, Shernette, we're late. He was sitting in the front. He was all dressed in blue and white. I said, no problem. I jumped in the back seat of the car. The entire duration of the trip, we're now going from Kingston to Portmore. Andre was not communicating with me. He was communicating with the driver, which he made it very clear because his questions were directed at the driver. He would address him as driver and they would be talking. Andre had one communication with me. Andre turned and said to me, Shernette, did you see the ship them that came in? The ship that went, they're going to Venezuela. I said to him, no. He said to me, yes, some ship came in. We had that one conversation. The entirety of the trip, he did not speak with me. But I started looking at him. I'm like, hold on. You are different. Meeting him in person, he was cold,
So there was
calculated.
when you met him, there was no rapport as
Nothing.
the
Nothing.
professor and the head girl for
No,
partner
he was
George
almost robotic.
meeting
He
for the
was
first time.
no. He was honest to God. He was almost robotic. He just, no, nothing at all. He was almost like dismissive of the fact that you were there. I sat in the car. I sat watching his body language. He was in the front. I was in the back. We drove, went to Portmore. I don't know Portmore. I'm from Western Jamaica. He paid the driver. While in the car, sorry, he had two conversations because right before we got to where we were going, he said to me, Shernette, when we're pulling into the churchyard, he said, Shernette, the driver, Ryan, is coming to pick us up after the service. I'm using this driver to take us here because it's going to take an hour and a half for him to come and get us. However, after the service, he will be here to pick us up. We're going to go eat some fish and we're going to hang out. Don't worry, man. I said, no problem. We got out of the vehicle. He stood up. I stood up. We got out. He paid the driver. I went up. I said, oh my God, you're so tiny. I thought you were bigger. Went in to give him a hug. Andre pulled back and just used one hand, pat me on my back and said to me, hold my bag. You're going to have to keep my bag. Went
We're
straight
going
into
to
the...
take a break, Shernette.
Yes.
But when Global TV returns, we want to hear what happened at the funeral.
Not a problem.
Global TV send another one. Oh, 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 oh. Global TV, I send them home. Yeah, man, this is Michael Buckley. I tell you, say, yo, the Global TV, yeah, man, me represent that 100%. Play the music, Global. Boom, shot.
Welcome back to Global TV. This evening we have with us the former head girl for Partner Draw TV, is telling her story and is also demystifying the belligerent attacker. Tell the audience what happened at Daniela's funeral.
So when we got there, as I stated before, his father, Daniel LaRose's father, was up there speaking. There were two people, one standing to his right, one standing to his left. I did not know who he was. It was, again, I was standing outside. When I looked, I saw that Andre proceeded inside and Andre went right up to the front of the church, walking to the right. And he made his way to the front, started taking pictures and start recording, I assume. It's a very big church. It was the SDA, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And I was standing outside in the broiling sun. I realized, oh my God, so he's going to leave me here with his bag, and I'm talking a big bag. I put my purse in the bag, and I said, okay, I guess I'm going to have to find a seat. I went inside, found a seat. The church was packed by that time because we got there about an hour after the service had started. So I sat down. I asked anyone sitting here. I sat down. Fine. Andre did not even know where in the church I was sitting. Andre went, recorded what he needed to do, got his footage of whatever he needed to do. Then Andre proceeded to the left of the church where the family, the mother, the little girl's mother sides of the family was. And Andre went and sat with them. He sat there with them for about an hour and a half. At no time did he ever even say to me, I'm going to be at the front. He sat there for about an hour and a half. I was sitting at the back by myself. The whole incident, the whole outburst that went on, I was there at the back door because I got one of the very last seat. So I was seeing everything with the end that went on. And I remember saying to myself, oh my God, let the little girl rest in peace. It's so distasteful. I remember leaning forward, putting my head in my lap and like praying like, please God, this is not good. However, people are out there taking media shots, whatever they were doing. I kept the bag. After the incident occurred where the little girl aunt and the whole blow up and whatever and the cussing out, about half an hour after that, Andre came up to me. So this would be about an hour and a half after we had gotten there. And he leaned over and he said to me, Shernette, take your things them out of my bag and give me my bag. I'm going outside to do some work. I said, oh, okay, sure. I went in, took my purse out, even forgot that I had my sunglasses. My sunglasses was still in there. I said, sure, took my purse out and gave him his bag. He walked, went to the side door. That's the last time I saw Andre. I never saw Andre again that day. I'm there sitting, thinking Andre's outside doing some work. When it was very hot. It was about 40 degrees that day.
Let me ask you this, because
Mhm.
there was a narrative on that very Sunday night given by Andre on his show after returning from the funeral that he was almost surrounded by police with arms. Did you see any incident of that taking place?
No, Wayne, and I'm getting there. So let me just get there. Because before that, Wayne, you've gone over a lot of stuff. You're way ahead of me. So when I gave him the bag, I didn't see him again. I wanted some water. I walked outside to get water
I
because
don't
it
know
was
if you
hot.
know, but your camera is on.
Oh, no, I did not know. Oh, camera. I went outside to get some water. When I went out to get the water, okay, camera. I don't know how to do it. Okay. When I went out to get the water, when I walked outside, I saw that Andre was missing. Andre was nowhere there to be found. I said to myself, hold on, where is Andre? What is going on here? So he said, so I looked up, I looked down, I looked everywhere, no Andre. I said, this is funny. I went back inside. Then later I said, okay, fine. I proceeded to go over to where I was sitting. I sat back. I wanted to go to the washroom. After the washroom, went to the washroom. While going to the washroom, my shoes broke. I'm still looking for Andre, no Andre. At the end of the night, I remember that the end of that evening, I remember getting outside because by this time the funeral is over. I'm running outside. I'm saying to myself, okay, Andre must be somewhere outside. There's no way Andre could not be here. If Andre's here, Andre will be there. Andre will be running around. Andre will be trying to get the final pictures. So I said to myself, you know what? Let me run outside, try to get the pictures, trying to get Andre so we could leave with Andre. I went outside. I looked to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south. No Andre. Every single vehicle left the parking lot. The hearse was gone. The vehicles were gone. Everyone was gone. And I sent you a video, Wayne,
Before
of
you
me being.
continue, I'm going to play a video for the audience and then you pick up after the video.
Okay. Okay, so nobody's going to believe this. I'm actually recording. I'm not recording these ladies' face. I'm going to just record their lower body. These are the only ladies that are left here with me, waiting with me after the funeral. Your faces are not on it, sweetie. The church here that I came to is empty. Just a few people sitting inside, you can see. I came to the funeral. I was invited here. And person that invited me here apparently had emergency. So they came and took their bag and left me here by myself. Funeral is gone, funeral procession is gone, everybody's gone. And poor little old me, know nothing about Kingston, is stuck here. And I'm trying to, one of these ladies have called their own taxi to give me a ride because I am stuck. When I call the individual that I came with, they're telling me that they had to run because their grandmother had some form of emergency. They knew where I was sitting because I was holding their bag. They did not come back and say, let me take my bag and take you with me. So I don't want you to be a liability to me or whatever. They're telling me now they're going to send a taxi. They're not even coming in the taxi. They're going to send a taxi with a stranger to pick me up. So I decline, and I will be heading back to the premises in which I'm staying. And that's it. But I am stuck here, and as you guys can see, nobody will believe me when I post this later, but here I am. Everything, and that's a funeral for the little girl that was slain, Daniela Rowe, and I am here, and I'm stuck. And I know nothing about Kingston to begin with, and this is Portmore. Apparently, it may be Greater Portmore, something like that I'm in. I don't even know where I'm at. But yeah, I'm here, and I'm stuck. Like, seriously, I'm here, and I'm stuck. Not a joke.
In the video,
Yeah.
you refer to the person. At no time you said it was Andre or the famous vlogger. Why would that be? Why didn't you say to any of the ladies there, I came with Andre from Partner Draw TV? Why would that? Why was that?
Loyalty. You try to protect people at all cost. And at that time, even though so much stuff was happening and nothing was adding up, I'm the type of person that likes to prove things above and beyond. I don't like to throw out accusation, because even when he asked me to go to the funeral with him that night, I was like, should I? A voice is saying, don't go. Another voice is saying, it's the little girl, go. And I'm like, you know what? We've been covering this topic for so long, let me go. So it was loyalty, because I did not want anyone to start running with the narrative. Oh my God, he brought her to Jamaica and left her. So I was still trying to cover for Andre. So that was just basically total loyalty. So when I got there and realized and took that video, I borrowed one of the ladies' phone and asked them if I could call him, because I did not even get around to getting a chip to put in my phone. So my phone only works if I have Wi-Fi. So at that time I said to myself, listen, I need to get, before these ladies left, you can see it was only the ushers that were there, asked, they loaned me their phone. I called Andre. When I called Andre, he said to me, at the church, where do you expect me to be? I don't know Kingston. This is where you brought me and left me. He said, okay, Shernette, don't worry. I'm sending you a ride right away. I had to run because my grandmother took Hill and she's critical, and I had to run, come take care of my grandmother. I said to him, but why did you take me with you? I came with you when you came for your bag. Why did you just take your bag and not, because you got all the footage from the funeral you needed?
Your signal is
okay, one moment. Let me try. Okay, let me try this. So I said to him, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm not sure what's going on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I said to Andre, I said at that time, I said, okay, I know my camera is on, but I guess something is wrong with my mic. I said at that time, listen, why didn't you take me? When I called him, he said, I'm at my grandmother. My grandmother got very sick and I had to leave. It's an emergency. I'm there. I responded, why didn't you take me with you? I don't know Kingston. I don't know Portmore. You brought me here. So why didn't you take me when you came and took your bag? He said, I know I should have taken you, but I'm going to send a driver to pick you up now. Then he proceeded to say, the driver will take you to some place. I forget the name of the place, and I will meet you there. I said, okay, fine. I hang the phone up. Wayne,
would this have been his security detail / driver?
At that time, I did not know. So the minute I hang the phone up, I was still standing in the church doorway. Something hit me and said to me, Shernette, who is Andre sending to pick you up? Is it the driver? Who is this driver? Is he going to be in the vehicle? Are you going to be getting into the vehicle by yourself? Do not let anyone take you from point A to point B. They're going to take you to some place. Where's that some place? So I did not want to bother the ladies again to borrow their phone. But while standing in the church door, I had this smell that came over me, almost like back in the days when I was a child and they used to embalm those body, that smell that was in the church. And it was just in my nostril and I could not move. And I said, where did this smell come from? I know it's a funeral, but I've been here all day since like 11 o'clock. Now it's 3:30 almost. And it's the first time I'm smelling this. Like, so I stepped outside. When I stepped outside, the smell became like in my nostril, like it was stifling me. I moved away from in front of the church, moved off to the side. And I heard like water, like when somebody is diving into water, I hear like water going into my ears, almost to a point where I was blocking out and the smell was just all over me. And something said, call him back. I walked back to the ladies and I said, excuse me, borrow their phone, called him. He said, is the driver there yet? I said, no. I said, are you going to be in the vehicle coming? He said, no. Is it the driver, your security detail / driver, the one that you rented the car in? He said, no, it's not him. So I said, so who are you sending to pick me up? He said, don't worry, the person will be there soon. I said to him, do not send the driver. I'm not getting in that car. He started yelling, what are you talking about? I already said the driver.
What was Andre mode at that point?
Yelling. What are you talking about? I'm already sent the driver. What are you talking about? The driver is already on his way. I said, call him off. I am not getting into that vehicle. And the reason why, remember the Sunday morning on our way to, I'm sorry?
One moment, just one moment. To the audience, the software I'm using doesn't give me access to Shernette camera to turn it off. So I don't have access to turn Shernette camera.
I don't know why I can't turn the camera off. Oh, it's off now. Perfect.
It's off now.
Off.
Don't touch it again. Continue your explanation now.
It's
Shernette.
actually not off. It looks as if it's off, but it's not. Is it?
It's off.
Okay.
It's off on our side now. Perfect.
So Andre at that time started yelling, telling me, no, I'm sending the driver. I'm sending the driver is on its way. I said, no, call off your driver because I'm not getting into the vehicle. The ushers, as you see all the ladies sitting there waiting for me to be picked up because I'm the only person left there, they said to me, who did you come with? Who did you come with? I declined. They were like, who is this person? One of the ladies responded, I saw who she came with. I don't know if she was bluffing. So I pretended that as if I did not hear anything. I did not respond to them. I said to them, please find me a ride. Remember, hungry, no breakfast, 1 foot of shoes. The other one is broken. I said, find me a ride. So they found me a ride. They were calling around. I said to them, not a young person, an older person, please. I need an old person to take me back to the unit. By that time, I hang up on Andre and I'm like, no. He said, you don't understand, but my grandmother was sick. That's why I had to leave you. I said, Andre, even if your grandmother's house was in deplorable condition, what you should have done is taken me in the taxi that you were going in. And what you should have done is had the taxi drop you at your grandmother's place and had the taxi drop me back to where I was staying. You don't bring me to somewhere and leave me here and then you're sending, no, I will not get in the taxi, and I hang the phone up. The driver, later on, the Seventh-day Adventist from Portmore, they got a driver. He was actually cooking. His name is Country. That's why I was bigging up Country earlier. He came, turned his stove off. They begged him to pick me up. He drove me down to a jelly stand, got me jelly, asked me if I needed anything else because by that time, it's about 3:30. My head is killing me. I had nothing to eat. The sun is hot other than the water I drank. And he took me back to Portmore. From Portmore to Kingston, where I was staying in Beverly Hills. I think that's where it was called up there. So I messaged Andre and I said, I am home. I'm back to the apartment safely. He called me. When he called me, the background, I was listening for the background. The background Andre was calling me from was the exact same.
When he called you when you got home, did he apologize, give further explanation or anything?
No, he just said his grandmother was sick, very sick, and he had to go. No. And at that time, I did not want to speak.
What was the conversation he had with you after that?
Shortly after that, I got contacted by his driver. His driver called me. But what was so surprising, the driver that he said was in another parish, never made it into Kingston, was not able to pick us up. The driver knew everything about what was about to happen. The driver started yelling and screaming at me, thinking, oh, no, people come down from foreign. What do you people think you are? The man said to get in a vehicle. You come talk about, want to get into a vehicle. I was like, what? He just started blowing up on me. I ended the conversation and I blocked him that very same evening. I called Andre back and I said, Andre, I have some stuff I brought for one of your recipient on your program. Please send me the recipient's information. So I will, because I was supposed to be in Kingston for 9 days. Send me the recipient, and this is now day 3. Send me the recipient information. I'm going to give them their stuff because I said tomorrow morning, as soon as my girlfriend gets in, which is the Monday morning, we're leaving Kingston. That's what I said to myself. I said, I'm not staying
Why
here.
did you take that decision? Why did you take that decision that Monday morning I'm out of Kingston?
Because I realized I was not safe. How is it that the driver that was in another parish, an hour and a half to 2 hours away, knew what took place at the funeral, knew I did not get into the vehicle, knew everything, yet that driver was not there? Who was the
So
driver
are
Andre
you
was sending?
thinking Andre was lying about the driver he was sending to pick you up after the funeral, after he left you stranded for hours?
I know there was some lie because Wayne, in the morning on our way to the funeral, he was having a hard time finding a drive for us to go to the funeral that he had already pre-planned. How is it that on a slap of a dime, when I said to him I was still at the church, he was able to find a driver immediately? The very next thing that came out of his mouth, I'm sending you a driver. I'm not stupid. Where did that driver come from? And when I called him and asked him, is this the driver that you said you rented the, well, not he, that you rented the car and gave to? Is this the driver that was supposed to pick me up since Friday? He said no. So who was the driver? Where did the car
Would
come
it be
from?
fair to say then that based on how things unfold, could one suggest that Andre was planning something quite devious at the time, but in planning is being careful to keep himself distant from you should his plan break through?
I know he was. I was convinced he was. And because he could not get me, his only way was thinking, get me to Portmore, get me to the funeral, distance himself from me even at the funeral. Because remember, I'm at the funeral. The only thing he did was left me with his bag outside, and he came back and took his bag and he was gone. Then he could say I got into a vehicle, he was not there. There would be no camera footage of Andre being there. There would have been no camera footage of Andre being in a vehicle that's coming to pick me up. They could have easily put any license plate on that vehicle. I would have just disappeared. And it would just be, I don't know where she went or whatever. Even if they said I went to the funeral with him, he would have proof that, look, I left the funeral by myself. I did not leave with her. I don't know where she is and where she went. So I knew something sinister was happening at that time. I was convinced that something was happening. Way too much coincidence at that time. So he sent me the recipient's information. When he sent it to me, I contacted the recipient and I said to her, she can come today. She was questioning who I was. I said, call Andre and find out. However, long story short, she came over. When she came over, I said to her the Sunday night, I did not tell her anything about what was happening. I said to her hi, greeted her, blah, blah, blah. 2 people came over. I gave her the stuff. She sat there and she started trying on the stuff.
I just want to clear
Yes.
something with you. The security detail / driver, have you ever met that guy in person?
If I met him, I did not know it's him. So no, I've never met him. No.
Okay, continue explaining when the recipient got there on Sunday night.
So when the recipient got here, this is now Sunday evening. This is about, because I got home about 4, my head was hurting. So the recipient got there about 5:30ish. When the recipient got there, she started taking her stuff, and one of the recipients started trying on some of the stuff that I brought for her, and she was loving the stuff and whatever. We started talking. They said to me, you're here by yourself? I said, yes. They said, this is a big place. I said, yeah, but I'm ready to go. I'm going to Portland, and then after Portland, I'm going to make my way. I just want to get out of here. While we're there talking, again, they were hanging out. I said, listen, there's not much food in here, but if you guys want to help yourself, whatever. Night progresses. They started watching TV. Then the recipient turned on the TV and started watching. No, before Partner Draw TV came on, let me backtrack. My phone rang.
I was just going to ask you to backtrack.
Yes, my phone rang.
Andre called you after the funeral when you get home and Sunday evening with regards to Sunday night broadcast?
Yes. So my phone rang. When my phone rang, it was Andre on the phone. The 2 recipients were in the apartment with me. Andre Collins, Andre says, Shernette. I said, yes. I want you to do me a favor. I said, what's the favor? He said, I want you to come on the show tonight and tell the people that over at the funeral in Portmore, I was attacked by the police officers. And that's why I had to run. And I would paint the narrative. That's why I had to leave you over there because the police had attacked me. I said, what are you talking about? He said, the SWAT team that was outside. He said, I'm going to tell the audience that I came under attack by the SWAT team. They wanted to take me in. They wanted to arrest me because of the whole commotion that was going on. And I should back him up. I said, Andre cannot do any such thing. I did not see that. I was there. There were police officers there because the little girl's father was a police officer. However, at no time did I see anyone approach you, anyone speaking to you, anyone trying to take you into custody or trying to arrest you or trying to interrogate or harass you. He said to me, do it for me, man. I turned and I said to him, hold on. I thought Friday night you said you did not want me to come into your studio because you wanted to protect me. You did not want anyone to know that I'm in Jamaica. So how is it now that you want me to call in to say I'm in Jamaica and that happened? I said, no, I would never, Andre, speak of something that I know to be a lie. It's not factual. 2 recipients were there. One of the recipients yelled out an obscenity. She's like, whoa, what the blankety, because they were overhearing the conversation. When she said that, I realized, oh my God, okay. So I moved into the bedroom and I said to him, no. And I said, plus, if anyone is listening and that gets back to my husband that I was in date, I said, no, I can never do that. He said, just do it for me because I'm going to go on and her auntie's going to come on and I'm going to tell them that the police come and attack me and the police come and try to beat me up. I mean, run where I left you. So I said, hold on. But I thought it was your grandmother that took sick. Why you had to leave me? He said, you're not doing it for me. I said, no, I would never, Andre. I would never bear false witness to a lie. I said, I cannot. The police were there. They're under bushes, keeping away from the sun. They did nothing. None of them spoke to you. How am I going to make up story like that? I would never do that. That was about maybe 45 minutes before the show. The show went on. And that's why the young ladies stayed. The young ladies stayed because we were talking about it and they're like, oh my God. So I said to them at that time, he left me at the funeral and this is what he wants me to say. And they're like, really? No, man, that's not good. And we kept talking.
Tell
Show
us
came
what
on.
happened when the broadcast went out 8 o'clock Sunday evening.
When the broadcast went out 8 o'clock Sunday evening, where they're watching it, Andre came on. Andre started that he was attacked and that the police came at him and that he had to leave and he was under attack. He never said to them if the attack was spiritual or physical. He just said I was under attack. So I left it and I smiled. And all 3 of us sitting in the unit looking at it, laughing because we knew it was all a lie. And I'm like, me? I'm not going to be involved in that. That was a Sunday night. While watching the show, you know, the show goes on forever and the lady started blowing the stuff. One of the recipients, she could not deal with it. She kept running away every time they blew the stuff. It got late. And the younger of the 2 recipients was sleeping. She had started sleeping a little bit. Now, on the kitchen window, so before the first 2 nights, it was the bedroom window. We are now in the living room / dining room area of the apartment unit, the kitchen window. We heard boom, 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 boom. When we heard the knocking, I grabbed the younger recipient and I dived to the floor and I rushed into the bedroom. The older recipient said, what the FUCK is this? And I said to her, no. Don't go to the window. She said, who the blankety is out there? And she proceeded to the window and to look through the window. And I'm like, no, stay away from the window. This is the 3rd night it's happening. She started opening the grill to the back because the back door is grilled from the inside. She started opening the grill. She opened the door. She opened the grill. At that time, I went to lock myself in the room because I'm like, listen, people are just going to bust the door to come in. And she said, oh, the blankety out here want me push me knife in a uno. Uno. P-U-S-S-Y. I want to come for. You know, want to come deal with me? However, based on how the individual was dressed and the attire, I think, and the voice, the tone of the voice, I think they thought it was a man. And whoever was at the back, they took off. That was again the Sunday night. Now I have witnesses in the unit.
What
That
happened after that?
the person stayed with me. They stayed until the Monday, and they stayed the Monday night. On the Monday, I went and picked up my girlfriend at I think 3 miles. That is, we went, rented a
Yes.
car, got a regular taxi, picked up my friend. After I picked up my friend, we proceeded to come back to the unit. They stayed the Monday night, and I said to them, "Listen, I'm going to Portland." Went to Portland. At that time, I mentioned to Andre what was going on. Andre did not seem to be concerned about anything. He said, "So what not gonna do now? When I come back from Portland?" I said, "I don't know yet." We proceeded. We came back from Portland. When we came back from, while we were at Portland, we never
At
heard from
no
Andre.
point, at no point, Andre ever had any concern over the course of 3 nights of knocking on your window.
Nope. Actually, when I told him that the driver asked for a picture of me, and I sent a picture of a man to the driver slash security detail, Andre asked for me to send him the image. Forward the image to me, which I still have it in chat. Forward the image to me of the picture that you sent to the man. I forwarded it to him. He said, "So where you get this Amania picture from?" I say, "It's just a random picture of somebody. I was down by the water and I was taking picture and just randomly on my stuff." He said, "Oh, nothing, no concern." Even the fact that the guy was being inappropriate with me, wanted pictures, images of me, he had no concern about anything. So I never heard from Andre until the Thursday. When we came back from Portland, I heard from Andre, and Andre was, "Hi." I said, "Hi." "Hi, stranger." I said, "Hi." He's inviting me to a prayer breakfast. At that time, I said, "No, I'm not coming." I told him, I said, "No, I'm not coming to the prayer breakfast." He said, "Don't worry, man. It's Saturday
After,
morning."
let me stop you here.
Yes.
After all of this been happening from Friday to Sunday, and you went away to Portland on Tuesday, did you?
Yes.
What made you even trust Andre after coming back to Portland, or want to go anywhere with Andre, or want to let Andre know any of your whereabouts and movement? What would have caused that? Because
I actually
you were already having suspicions based on how things were unfolding from Saturday to Sunday night.
I actually did not trust him. And at that time, I started making it known that, no, I'm not going anywhere with you. I said, "You went, you left me in Portland." I list a bunch of stuff that he said, "I know, but I made a lot of plans to do things with you and I didn't. It's my way of making it up to you. And I'm paying for the tickets myself." I said to him, "No, I'm good. And I'm not by myself anymore. I'm with my girlfriend." He said to me, "Don't worry, Shernette. It would not be me picking you up. It would be Miss Claudette slash Claudia, same person, that will be picking you up and bringing you there. And I will meet you at the prayer breakfast." I said to him, "I'll get back to you." I thought about it the entire evening, Thursday evening. A spirit is saying, "Don't go." My girlfriend said, "Go, man, because I'm here with you." I said, "I'm not." Mind you, during that period of time, not even the TV I would turn on to watch him. There was just something. There was just a disconnect. There was just, I could not even watch him. Because she's even saying to me, "You're not even watching." I said, "No, no, no. If you want to watch, you can watch." But no, because I still did not tell my girlfriend when I picked her up that had happened, because I did not want her to be scared. So
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, yes, Miss Claudette can pick me up." Miss Claudette drove and picked me up the Saturday morning. It was an all white affair. She and another lady was in the vehicle. She picked up my girlfriend and I. We proceeded to the event. When we got to the event, they left a seat next to me for Andre to sit. When Andre got to the event, he was so nervous, so uncomfortable. He asked for this position to be changed. He would not sit. And there was about 10 of us at the table. He would not sit in that position where the seat that they left him. He went and sat on the other side. I'm looking, I'm like, confirmation. It's as if I wanted confirmation, because I don't like to be willy-nilly or iffy about things. But this time, my radar is up. Everything is up. You can't fool me. You cannot manipulate me. I see you. I'm saying, devil, I
Was
see
there
you.
any eye contact or rapport with you when Andre met you at the prior breakfast?
Oh, very little. Not even pictures we took together. Very little. In fact, he was pacing back and forth. He was so uncomfortable. For most of the time, he was like outside, just up, down, back, forth. He was pacing very, very little. Very little contact. He sat across there and we were there and we went into worship and whatever, went and got the breakfast. I was shocked when he said, wave to them. Hi, this is Head Girl. I said, am I on live? He said to me, yes. I leaned out of the camera and I said to him, what about you telling me that you're not going to let anybody know that I'm in Jamaica, Andre, and that you will let them know when I go back to Canada that I was here? He said to me, well, deal with it. No, them know you're down here. A voice said to me, Shernette, you don't see what's going on. Whoever is supposed to take you don't know what you look like. They have no picture of you. They have nothing of you. Because again, Andre and I were not communicating as people think outside the show. That's why he cannot release any voice note or anything on me. We do not communicate. When the showtime, I call and I say what I have to say. And any communication was whatever message you would send me during the show. And I would answer back if I choose. So there's no image of what I look like. He has nothing on me. So he had to show them what I look like. So he literally went boop and switched it to live. Head girl, say hello. I don't like cameras. I don't like those stuff. So I nervously said, hi guys, and was reading the comment, and my girlfriend was there next to me and we were waving and all that stuff. While he was doing that, I knew exactly what he was doing. I knew exactly what he was doing. So I said to myself, remember, this is the morning prior breakfast. He then tried to start to get me to come back, that he wanted me to come back to the evening, the night one. But based on the activities that were going on, some of the stuff that was going on during the daytime, I'm like, no, I'm not going back. No, I'm okay. Plus, I brought stuff down for Andre. Remember the phone for Mr. Marsh? I still had it. I still had stuff that I
I'm going
brought
to
for.
ask you a question. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. The practices on that day at the prior breakfast, would it what you would describe as a normal church service, a normal prior breakfast service, or did anything there raise your suspicion?
Let's say my girlfriend, she's Seventh-day Pentecostal, so she was outside. She sat outside after she had her breakfast. She sat outside for the duration of the service. She refused to come back inside because she found the blowing on and the spitting on and the wiping on of whatever that was happening inside to be
What you mean blowing on and spitting on and
the
wiping on?
blowing
What
on
do you mean
people,
by that?
the activities that was going on, and everybody was on the floor, going down on the floor. Everybody was falling over. Like that was what was going on there. So she found that to be grotesque.
So are you
I said,
saying that would be something similar to what we would have kind Kevin Simmet to?
oh, yes. The actions,
From
the demeanor, the everything. Like it was very, very, very similar. And I was very uncomfortable. But you see, I'm not afraid of a lot of stuff that people think I should be afraid of, and thinking I'm a woman, I would be afraid of. So I sat there and I decided, let me see how much power you have. Because the minute they made their way through the door, I turned to my girlfriend and said, what am I doing here? If I knew my way, I would get out of here. What am I doing here?
Explain when the bishop or the high priest entered, the mood or the entourage.
It was like, worship me, carry my Bible, carry my shoes, carry my everything. He broke all protocol, even protocol. Now, when you set protocol, it doesn't matter if you're in charge, you follow protocol. People, because you lead by example. Everything and everything about him, his disposition, is everything. I was like, everything about him, the way he was dressed, the way he spoke, everything about him. I was like, no, this is not right. No, this is not of God. No, 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 no. But again, I got a ride there, and I stayed. My girlfriend, she stayed outside after we had break, because we broke for breakfast, and then the service started. I got out, I stood there, and people were going up, long line. It took about 2.5 hours because everybody that got up there, they were on the ground. They were always on the ground. So I was the last person that got up, and I said to myself,
When you say underground, what do you mean? In the Holy Anansi or the Holy Spirit?
oh, they were pushed over. They were just on the ground, like women on the ground, because there were just, some of the people were being pushed back and shaken and pushed over this side and jerked, and some of them were being blown on, and sweat thrown on, and a whole bunch of hocus pocus was happening.
Wow.
So I sat back and I watched. At this time, my girlfriend was outside the entire time. And I said, let me see if this person is real. I'm going to challenge the spirit, because the Bible said, test the spirit. So I'm going to test the spirit. So I was the last person. I remember one of Andre's people that sat around his table said, you saved the best for last. I said, yes. And I got up, and the gentleman, the priest, walked over, whoever he was, and he looked at me and he said to me, you study psychology? I said, he said to me, oh, I see some association with Canada. I said, And he whispered in my ears and said, oh, your destiny is great. I said, I'm the only person, period, that stood there that was not on the ground. So I said, oh, I thought you were real, because I wanted to see you push me down. I wanted to see them wrap me in sheet and take me out. I want to know what power you had. So that was a whole debacle in itself. So I was the only person that was left standing.
Wow.
Andre was not pushed over because Andre was busy outside walking up and down. However, later that night when he went back, I heard he was on his foreleg crawling, wrapped in
Yes, that
red.
video was on Facebook where he was covered in red sheet and
That was the
all
event, but I was
sorts
there in
of
the morning, and I refused to go back at night because I was not trust going back at night. And I really wanted to meet with Miss Claudette as well, because I wanted to give her the stuff that I had brought for Andre, because I had some colognes for Andre. I even have a thing called, what is called Navage, which would clear his sinus up, and all those stuff I brought for him, plus the phone that he
let's
told me.
let's talk about the infamous phone, because if we all remember, during that tirade on the Friday night, the 11th of August, Andre told us Shernette is an agent. Shernette even gave him a phone which was bugged. Explain the whole telephone scenario that Andre defamed you in.
So as I stated before, when I told Andre was coming down, Andre asked me to bring a phone for Mr. Marsh. Mr. Marsh, being an older person, it would just be a basic phone. It's no sophisticated phone or whatever. When I got to Jamaica and told him I had the phone for Mr. Marsh, he said to me, listen, I no longer need the phone for Mr. Marsh. Mr. Marsh was given a phone. I said, oh, so I actually gave away the phone. When he called me and said to me that he was inviting me to the event, the Thursday night, he said to me, and by the way, the phone that you brought from Mr. Marsh, I need it for a graphic designer. He never said he's junior producer. He said he has a new young boy with him, and it's his graphic designer. He need the phone for the graphic designer. I said, Andre, you told me you no longer needed the phone, and I gave the phone away. He said to me, well, you better find one phone then, because I needed a phone. I went to Jamaica with two phones, my personal phone and my business phone. What I did, I started clearing off as much as I can from my business phone and decided I'm going to give the business phone to Andre. The business phone was a Samsung phone. It was a newer phone, but I had it in an older case because I was going to Jamaica. I said, just in case I'm using my phone and someone sees me with this phone, they won't try to grab it, because the case on the outside was very old. But it's a newer phone. I gave that phone because he said he's going to need it for graphic designing. I gave that phone to Miss Claudette. So Miss Claudette got that phone the Sunday morning, because what ended up happening is that the Saturday when she dropped me home after the prayer breakfast, I gave her the stuff for Andre, and whatever stuff I had brought for other people, I gave it to Miss Claudette. When I got home later in the evening, Andre called me and said, by the way, Miss Claudia, pick up the stuff. I said, yes, you didn't give her the phone. I said, oh my God, I forgot. He said, well, I'm going to need the phone. He said, on her way to church on Sunday morning, she will grab the phone from me. He said, what about Sunday evening? I said, no, I'm going to be busy. At that time, I know I was going to leave. So I said to him, no, I'm going to be busy Sunday evening. He said, Sunday morning on our way to, I said, yes. So I started cleaning off whatever I had on the phone, deleting a lot of stuff. And I handed the phone Sunday morning. I did not even go to the gate because I was busy getting dressed inside. And my girlfriend was already dressed because my friend from the military, the Saturday night when I got home and realized that Andre had put my face up on the internet and knew what was up, convinced what was up. I called one of my friends. I said, listen, I'm in Jamaica. They said, I'm getting off work about 5 o'clock. I said, can you come over? They said, send me your address. I gave them the address. They came and stayed until the wee hours of the morning. Then they said they're going to go home, get a shower. 2 of them are going to come back to get me out of the apartment the Sunday morning. So I knew I was going to leave. So I said, no, it has to be the morning. Miss Claudette, stop. I was getting dressed. My girlfriend was already ready for us to leave for St. Anne's because I was in Jamaica for a total of 3 weeks. So this would be like 8 days out of the 3 weeks. So my girlfriend gave her the phone. She drove off. When I heard the story about the phone, I said, hold on. How would Andre have a phone that he was asked? Remember, the phone was supposed to be for Mr. Marsh. That phone was given away. The phone was supposed to be for a graphic designer, a 15-year-old child. So who am I tracking? Was I tracking the 15-year-old child? And I said, how would Andre claim that I put chip in the phone and I'm tracking him when he was not the one that was supposed to, first of all, have the phone? So are you taking things on the false notion, saying that, okay, on the false notion, saying that the phone is intended for you when the phone was for somebody else? How did you end up with the phone? That was what I was, was the first thing I said when I heard about the phone. So I said,
From your
hold on.
knowledge, from
Yes,
your
like,
knowledge, did Andre ever collected the phone from Miss Claudia?
no, I have messages from Miss Claudette when I said to Miss Claudette, because that day when I gave her the phone, I later sent her about 4 um voice, whatever it's called, WhatsApp messages saying to her, Miss Claudette, please look in the phone. I have my chip, which is my SIM card. I need the SIM card because I've had this business number for over 20 years. Please send me back my SIM card. She said, no problem. So I messaged her when I got back and heard about the whole debacle. I said, Miss Claudette, did you not take out the SIM card from the phone? She said, yes, I did. I said, because she said, Shernette, don't worry about what was being said. She said, and I have the message. She said, the phone was presented to Andre. Andre looked at the phone and immediately, without moving away, without going, she said at no time was the phone out of my presence, Shernette. He looked at the phone and returned the phone to her immediately. I sent her another text and I said, please clarify what you mean. She said, you heard me. He looked at the phone. She didn't tell me if he took it out of her hand. He looked at the phone and she said immediately he turned the phone back to her and gave it to her. So she doesn't understand how he would know if stuff was in it, yes or no, because at no time did he accept the phone. The phone was never accepted by him. So I asked her, could you please mail it to me? Well, to my girlfriend in Montego Bay. She put it on Knoxford Express and mailed the phone along with the chip, took pictures of it, and sent it to my girlfriend in Montego Bay. Because Andre at that time did not want the phone. So the remainder of the cologne and all those stuff that I brought him, I don't know to date if he took them, because to date he has not said thank you for anything I brought for him.
From what you've said to us, you've only met Andre twice during your time in Jamaica, at the funeral and at the prior breakfast. Have you met Andre outside of that before you've left Jamaica?
No, never saw him again. When I got to St. Anne's, I sent him a message. I said, hi, Andre, just to let you know, I'm safe. I'm in St. Anne's. To date, he has never replied to it.
We saw, well, after all of what you've explained that happened from the 17th of July up until the funeral day, and then what happened after prior breakfast on the telephone saga. We saw Andre before you left Jamaica on the 11th of August put the narrative out there that Shernette is not a woman, Shernette is a transvestite. Why did you think, after doing so much unsuccessful, suspicious activities, why did you think Andre put that particular narrative out there?
Andre may not have known when I was actually leaving Jamaica. So he knew I was still in Jamaica. And I'd gone quiet. So after I got to St. Anne's and let him know that I was in St. Anne's and didn't hear back from Andre, we never spoke again. I was in Jamaica for an additional 2 weeks. I never watched the show again. I was just turned off from everything. I was trying to process everything. I was quiet. I was silent. And to be honest, I would have gone my way and had nothing else to do with Andre. Andre thought, let me come out and beat Shernette to it because Shernette know way too much. So let me put the narrative out there that Shernette is a double agent. Shernette is a transvestite. Now in Jamaica, it's very dangerous if people think that I am a man portraying myself to be a female. And that was extremely dangerous. So Andre may have thought I was still in Jamaica because remember the entire thing that he did, I was still in Jamaica. I was still in Jamaica. And not only was I in Jamaica, my flight delayed 3 days in a row. Friday delayed,
Do
Saturday,
you
like
think
3 days in a row.
Andre did that for you to get hurt because he did not succeed in
He did
whatever he
not
might
succeed, so
be
he was
planning?
silence me at any. Yeah, how dare you? Yeah, he cannot control me. I cannot be controlled. So yes, somebody else, because now my face is out there. This is the person that I put out a few weeks ago. She's a transvestite. She's not a real woman because when a picture of her, when my driver / my security detail asked for a picture of her, she sent a picture of a man. This is her. She's masquerading as a female, however, she's a male. Yet I gave birth
Did
to
you,
2 beautiful children.
do you think Andre tried to set you up to
Oh,
kidnap you or to get rid of you?
I don't know what he was planning to do, but I was supposed to disappear. And that's why he kept his communication with me very limited, not wanting to be around me, not wanting to be associated with me, knowing how to delete messages. I know for a fact, especially after what he did and saying that I'm a Chinese double agent. And when I kept quiet, my quietness, he could not deal with. So he went into this entire spiral, pretending to be crazy, pretending to lose his mind, pretending to, because he knew exactly what he did. I don't know who he was working for, or that he realized that I could not be bought out, or realized that I cannot be silenced. You cannot muffle me. You cannot put words in my mouth. You cannot tell me when or where or how to think. That will not work with me.
Are you of the opinion that Andre is having a mental breakdown, or
I'm
is
sorry?
Andre you are you of the opinion that since the 6th of July to now, Andre is having a mental health breakdown / relapse, or is Andre using his mental health as a cover to protect his manipulation and deceitful behavior?
There's a term they use called crutching, which not referring to shoplifting, but crutch, using something as a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
I am not saying Andre does not suffer from mental illness. I'm not a doctor. And of course, I do think he is, because in order for someone's mind to work the way it does, there must be some mental retardation. Yes, he does have mental issues. However, he's very calculative. If we all remember, Andre said he does nothing by coincidence. Every night he comes on, he said, everything I do
Intentional.
is intentional. So this is how people like to deceive us right under our nose. Everything, even him crying about his phone being stolen right now, and being robbed by gunmen. I can guarantee you, bet my life on it, not a soul took $1 from him. Nobody robbed him. But with all the money he's getting, it's going to go ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Because from dirt, only thing you can get is dirt. Now, does he suffer from mental illness? Probably yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the way in which he dealt with his mother, other women, especially women, the hatred for women, the hatred towards women. How dare you think you're smarter than me? How dare you come up with your own? The way in which he
Why
was
do you
so
think
cal-
Andre hates women so much or is so disrespectful to women?
I don't know what happened in his childhood. I don't know what happened that keeps triggering something. I don't know what turned him against women. Maybe the same thing that has his sexual orientation. I don't know what it is, Wayne. Like honestly, I don't know what it is because I know a lot of people that are gay, that are nice, that are whatever. I don't know what it is. But I would not expect you to treat me better than you treat your mother.
Has
You will
Andre
not
ever
treat
tried to
any other
contact
woman
you?
better than you treat your mother.
Has Andre ever tried to contact you after the 11th of August when he carried out that onslaught on you?
Never. No, never.
In
Never
winding
tried to
down
contact.
this interview, what would you like to say to Andre Stevens?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What would I like to say to Andre Stevens? Oh my God. Andre Stevens. I kept silent. I really kept silent. I went out of my way to keep silent. But Satan, you did not prevail. Satan, you cannot prevail. Andre, your plans did not work. My hands are clean. My heart is clean. So God would not allow my soul to perish in hell. You tried your best. You, Andre, are worse than any Jamaican I think that has ever been born on that soil. Andre, Andre, I'm telling you, I will only bow down to God. I will bow to no one else because your mannerism, the way in which you dealt with me as if I should bow down, I should worship you. You wanted reverence. I
Could
would not.
Shernette have an amicable relationship with Andre Stevens in the future?
The sight of Andre Stevens disturbed my spirit. I don't watch anything he puts
Wow.
out. I know nothing about Andre Stevens. I don't care about anything he puts out. The sight, the sound of his voice disturbs me. So there's no way. I'm not an hypocrite. I'm a straight shooter. I say it as it is. So, Andre, you have failed. You have done everything in your power, but you have failed. Andre, you're a narcissist. You're deceptive. You're manipulative. You're cunning. You're very divisive. You're malicious. You're a dangerous, entitled savage. You, Andre, time and things will catch up with you. That which a man soweth, that he shall also reap. You've been digging holes and you've been setting traps. But Andre, into the very same pit that you have dug for others, you are falling. You have deceived us all. You came out saying that you're a little David and play little David, but what you were doing was playing us. You're meddling on both sides of the fence. You're playing political pondering. You're literally like a hooker back and forth between two political parties. You're fooling us. You're taking money from the people here that are working hard. Me too donated to you, thinking you're someone else. The minute I met you, the Andre that I saw online, I knew that very morning I met you when you came to pick me up for Daniela's funeral, that no, something is off. You were almost robotic. It's like you were walking the house of demonic angels around you. Andre, your plan did not work. Andre, I kept silent for too long. I asked you to clear my name and asked you to clear the lies up because I have text messages, I have voice note, I have witnesses. You never did. But what you meant for evil, Andre, God turned it around and used it for good. And for those so-called Christians that are hanging around, drinking that Kool-Aid, my question to you is, Andre, wanting to control or have relationship with a 15-year-old, speaking to a 15-year-old in that manner, Does that bother you, or do you consider it normal? The way in which Andre dealt with the minor, the way in which Andre talked about witchcraft
Do you
and
think
voodoo,
do you think there is a possibility of a case of grooming based on that video recording?
that is grooming. That's the definition of grooming. The grooming, and not only using scare tactics. Was that okay with the Christian body? Is it okay with you? While Andre was doing
Andre
the
has Andre has enjoyed enormous support from a larger Christian audience over the last 2 months or so. What would you like to say to Andre's audience who at some point is willing to support him blindly? What would you like to say to them?
they can support him blindly, but I'm wondering, how does that sin spell? Is it capital SIN for some things and some are common SIN so they don't count? While Andre was doing his stuff, didn't you see all the voodoo demonic stuff he was working with? Andre does voodoo demonic stuff. Is that okay with you, the Christian bodies that are still supporting him, giving the resources he needed to do that? My question is, the grooming of the 15-year-old, the threats that he made towards him, was that okay with you? The things that he does, basically go out and do, the double agent, playing back and forth, crying wolf, is that okay with you? The lies, the manipulation, the trying to literally manipulate me into going missing in Jamaica, is that okay with you? All the lies he has told on Wayne, on Grandman, all the other people, is that okay with you? Is some sin, and others consider just, oh, is that okay with you? Can you live with yourselves? How dare you come out and speak? And most of you are women. The way in which he treated his mother, he talked to his mother. When he was attacking Wayne, talking about Wayne health status, you Christian bodies, you never came out and condemn him. Where was the condemnation then? Are you the mothers that wash the blood out of your son's clothing when they do the murders? Are you the mothers that the kids would bite off their ears because they were sitting there? He does, cannot do any wrong. Do you think you're helping him? Are you bringing him down by ignoring what is right in front of her eyes? Andre is not even using any disguise anymore. Andre is coming straight out, showing us who he is. And if the fish come from the bottom of the water and tell you the water is deep, you better believe it's deep. But you sit around, you critique, you criticize without getting both sides of the story. I lived it. I went to Jamaica. I lived through it. 3 nights, survived, running scared, not even wanting anybody to know who I was until I left Kingston. When I left Kingston, went to Sentence thinking I'm safe. When I was coming back up, as soon as I got off the plane, the hundreds of messages were on my phone because Andre was there plotting, telling people I'm a transvestite, that I work for the Chinese. So if he was unable to get to me, they could take me out. This is your God. This is your Savior. This is your Messiah. But I bow to only one. So keep worshiping your Messiah. Keep following your Savior. I am a leader. I am not a follower. I am the head. I am not the tail. I bow to nothing. I was born with this leadership drive in me. I do not bow and I will not bow. And no one can control me. No one since I was a child can control me. That's not in my DNA. Never mind, little wimpy Andre Stevens. Are you kidding me? And this is why I was too much. This is why he wanted to silence me. This is why coming to Jamaica worked right in his favor, because I knew too much. I talked too much, and I would not go under subjection and listen to him and follow his narrative. Who the hell do you think you are, Andre Stevens? Who do you think you are? And all that you're accumulating, the locust and the conquerworm is going to devour it. That's what I have to say to him.
Shernette, I want to thank you very much for clearing up and demystifying the belligerent narcissist narratives. Thank you very much for being here. And you're always welcome on Global TV.
Thank you. And by the way, Wayne, let me clear this up. You and I never spoke either. The first time you and I spoke was that night when you sent me the link when Andre was sick, where I had to come in and fill in. for Andre when I thought it was a joke, when I had to come in and fill in for Andre, where I hosted the show and Andre's claiming that he didn't even know that I was a woman yet.
Yeah.
I hosted the show one night. The second time we spoke was one night when I was supposed to do the show as a guest. The third time I was backstage waiting one night to be the guest and he never brought me on. When I came back from Jamaica, I never knew what was going on with you and him because I wasn't watching the show. So I messaged you to tell you to please talk to him, to please go and recant his story because it was not true. I know that you checked the message, but for a month I did not hear anything from you. So I was like, hold on, what's going on? Then after that, I found out you and him were going through things. So you and I were not even speaking either because I left the message like, Wayne, could you please tell Andre to stop? None of this happened. And I left the message about what happened in Jamaica. And you checked the message that was from July. I never heard back from August, sorry. I never heard back from you until September. So Wayne and I don't have any conversations either. I don't have time for that. So
Precisely.
no
We're
one sit
very
there and
much
think Wayne
with
and
people who are
Shernette,
always
no.
getting on with things.
Exactly. We had talked prior to September, we had talked about 3 or 4 times period. That was it. And it was always a link you're sending. We had never spoken on WhatsApp or anything. It was always backstage. Are you there? Yes. That's it. Shernette, here's the link Andre sent for you to join the show. That's it. Nothing else. We had never spoken.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Social
Thank you,
media
everyone.
land.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much, Shernette.
You're welcome.
Social media, there you have it. The former head girl for Partner Jaw has spoken. It is up to you to make your decision based on what you've heard. You've heard Andre Stevens' story, a twisted lot of it. Now it was your chance to listen to one more side of one of Andre's belligerent tirade. It is for you to make up your mind and decide where the truth lies. But please be objective in your analysis. Join me back here tomorrow night when we continue to explain Andre Stevens. Thank you all very much for being here. And if there's anyone new who is here tonight who has not subscribed to Global TV, please subscribe, continue to share and like our program, and keep debating respectfully in the comments. Thank you one and all, and I hope you will join tomorrow when we continue to demystify the belligerent.
Global TV send another one. Oh, 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 oh. Global TV, I send them home. Yeah, man, this is Michael Buckley. I tell you, say, yo, the Global TV, yeah, man, me represent that 100%. Play them music, Global.